Have you ever marveled at the mysterious and unpredictable forces of nature? From the tranquil beauty of a snowfall to the raw power of a thunderstorm, our planet's weather never ceases to amaze us. But some weather phenomena go beyond ordinary storms or heat waves, leaving scientists and onlookers utterly baffled. In this thrilling journey through time, we'll uncover the 7 strangest weather events in history, working our way from the weirdest and most mind-boggling at number 7 to the equally astonishing number 1. We'll delve into the science behind these bizarre occurrences, exploring how they impacted our planet and its inhabitants. But before diving into these jaw-dropping events, take a moment to hit subscribe on our channel, Global Fact Trends. Let's explore the bizarre forces of nature together. Our exploration into the strange and unpredictable begins in the southern Indian state of Kerala. In the summer of 2001, residents bore witness to a spectacle that seemed ripped from the pages of a Gothic novel, Crimson Rain. For weeks, the skies opened, and instead of the life-giving water they expected, down came what appeared to be blood. Imagine the fear, the confusion, the sheer otherworldly nature of such an event. What could possibly cause such a thing? Theories abounded, ranging from the supernatural to extraterrestrial. The scientific community, however, sought a more grounded explanation. Samples of the red rain were collected and analyzed, revealing a fascinating truth. The culprit behind this crimson downpour was not blood, but microscopic algae spores. These tiny organisms, a type of red algae, had been swept up into the atmosphere, their vibrant red pigments staining the raindrops. While this discovery explained the color, it only deepened the mystery. How did such a massive quantity of these spores find their way into the rain clouds? Some scientists proposed that the spores originated from a meteor burst, scattering them across the region. The blood rain of Kerala serves as a stark reminder of the interconnectedness of our planet. From the crimson rains of Kerala, we travel to the bustling metropolis of London in December 1952. London, a city steeped in history and renowned for its gray skies, found itself shrouded in a fog unlike any other. This wasn't the typical London fog, a misty veil clinging to the city. This was a thick, choking blanket of smog, a noxious brew of fog and industrial pollutants. The Great Smog, as it came to be known, descended upon the city, plunging its inhabitants into an eerie, yellowish darkness. Visibility was reduced to a few feet, streetlights became invisible, and transportation ground to a halt. The air, heavy with sulfur dioxide and particulate matter, became a health hazard. People struggled to breathe, their lungs burning with each inhalation. The most vulnerable, the elderly and young children, suffered the most. Hospitals overflowed with patients suffering from respiratory distress. The death toll climbed with each passing day as the smog lingered, refusing to dissipate. The rapid industrialization of post-war Britain, coupled with a period of cold weather and an anticyclone trapping the pollutants at ground level, created a perfect storm. The Great Smog, in its aftermath, forced a reckoning. It exposed the price of unchecked industrial growth and its impact on public health. The Clean Air Act of 1956, a landmark piece of legislation, was a direct result of the Great Smog's devastating effects. Our journey takes an unexpected turn, from the physical to the psychological, with a phenomenon that might seem at first glance entirely unrelated to weather. In 1962, on the shores of Lake Victoria, in what is now Tanzania, a peculiar event unfolded. It began innocently enough, with a fit of giggles among schoolgirls in a small village. Laughter, as it often does, proved contagious, spreading rapidly through the school and then out into the community. What started as a seemingly harmless outbreak of mirth soon morphed into something far more unsettling. The laughter became uncontrollable, lasting for hours, even days. People collapsed, incapacitated by paroxysms of laughter, their bodies physically and emotionally drained. Over 1,000 people were ultimately affected by this bizarre epidemic of laughter. Schools were forced to shut down, businesses closed, and daily life was thrown into disarray. Some attributed it to mass hysteria, a collective psychological response to stress and anxiety. Others pointed to possible environmental factors such as changes in the water supply or the prevalence of certain plants known to induce laughter. To this day, no definitive explanation has been found for the Tanganyika laughter epidemic. It underscores the interconnectedness of our physical and mental well-being and the powerful impact our environment can have on both. Our journey now takes us back to the year 1816, a year etched in history books and remembered for its chilling moniker, the year without a summer. Imagine a world shrouded in perpetual twilight, the sun a distant memory, its warmth replaced by an unrelenting chill. This was the grim reality for much of the northern hemisphere in 1816. The previous year, Mount Tambora, a volcano on the island of Sumbawa in Indonesia, had erupted with cataclysmic force. The eruption, one of the most powerful in recorded history, ejected millions of tons of ash and sulfur dioxide into the atmosphere. This massive volcanic cloud carried by winds circled the globe, acting like a giant sunshade, blocking sunlight and disrupting weather patterns. Global temperatures plummeted, summer turned into a prolonged autumn, and frost blanketed fields in the height of what should have been the growing season. Crops failed, leading to widespread famine and hardship. Confined indoors by the unseasonable cold and gloom, writers like Mary Shelley, Lord Byron, and John Polidori penned some of the most enduring works of Gothic literature. The year without a summer highlights the delicate balance of our climate system and the profound impact volcanic eruptions can have on human history and culture. Chapter 5. The Hailstones of Bangladesh. From the global chill of 1816, we journey to the tropics, to the nation of Bangladesh, a land often associated with monsoons and lush greenery. But on April 14, 1986, the skies above Gopalganj district unleashed a different kind of fury. It began as a typical spring storm, the air thick with humidity, but what started as a rumble in the distance quickly escalated into a deafening roar. Then, the sky unleashed a torrent of ice unlike anything ever witnessed. Hailstones, some larger than grapefruits, others the size of cricket balls, plummeted from the heavens. These weren't your typical hailstones, formed from the gentle dance of raindrops and freezing air currents. These were monstrous chunks of ice, some weighing over 2 pounds, propelled by the raw power of a supercell thunderstorm. The hailstorm, lasting a terrifying 20 minutes, transformed the landscape into a scene of devastation. Homes were reduced to rubble, crops were obliterated, and trees were stripped bare of their leaves and branches. The Gopalganj hailstorm underscores the unpredictability of weather and the need for preparedness in the face of nature's fury. Chapter 6. The Black Blizzard of the Dust Bowl. Our journey now takes us to the heartland of America, to the vast expanse of the Great Plains. It was the 1930s, the decade of the Great Depression, and a different kind of disaster was brewing, a disaster born not of sudden fury, but of prolonged neglect. The skies above the Great Plains, once clear and blue, turned a menacing shade of brown. Dust, fine as talcum powder, lifted from the parched earth, carried aloft by relentless winds. These weren't mere dust storms, these were black blizzards, colossal walls of dust that blotted out the sun, turning day into night. The Dust Bowl, as this ecological disaster came to be known, was a man-made catastrophe exacerbated by nature's wrath. Decades of intensive farming practices, coupled with a prolonged drought, had stripped the topsoil of its protective layer, leaving it vulnerable to the wind's fury. The black blizzard swept across the plains, engulfing everything in their path. Visibility dropped to zero, dust infiltrated homes, coating everything with a thick layer of grime. The Dust Bowl highlights the importance of sustainable land management practices and the need to respect the limits of our natural resources. Chapter 7. The Frozen Hurricane of 1938. Our final destination takes us to the eastern seaboard of the United States, to the year 1938, where a meteorological paradox unfolded. A storm that defied expectations and showcased the awesome power of nature. Imagine a hurricane, a swirling vortex of wind and rain, colliding with an Arctic blast, a surge of frigid air from the north. This isn't a scene from a disaster movie. This was the reality in September 1938, when a hurricane, already a force to be reckoned with, underwent a bizarre transformation. As it churned up the Atlantic coast, it collided with a powerful cold front descending from Canada. The result was a meteorological freak show, a frozen hurricane. The storm, now a hybrid of tropical and Arctic fury, slammed into New England with hurricane-force winds, torrential rains, and most bizarrely, blinding snowstorms. Coastal communities, accustomed to hurricanes, were caught off guard by the sudden shift to wintry conditions. The frozen hurricane of 1938 highlights the powerful forces at play in our atmosphere and the unexpected outcomes when these forces collide. From crimson rain to frozen hurricanes, these events remind us of nature's unpredictability and awe-inspiring power. They challenge our understanding of the world, urging us to unravel the mysteries hidden within our planet's intricate systems. Which of these events amazed you the most? Let us know in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe to Global Fact Trends for more intriguing stories like this. Stay tuned. Our next video will explore the world's deadliest lightning strikes. You won't want to miss it.